The boombox was for many people around the globe their first introduction into a compact sound system that could produce loud music, had recording capabilities, and portability. Let's jump into it. The birth of the boombox is something controversial. Because of this, we will have to be very specific about what a boombox is. Now, if we agree that it is a portable radio that's able to record off the radio into a modern cassette tape, also known as compact cassette, then the Norelco 22RL962, developed by the Dutch multinational Philips, was the first one. However, there were previous units with similar capabilities, like the Belsona TRT398 from the manufacturer Hitachi, which was the first transistor radio that recorded to reel tape and was introduced earlier in 1963. Older models of vacuum tube radios from different Japanese brands were also able to record to older non-mainstream type of tapes from 1961 or earlier, but Philips, who in 1963 had invented the soon-to-be world standard cassette medium for decades to come, was quick to release its own model. Boomboxes started to be developed in Japan at the end of the 60s and boomed during the 70s. They quickly became the most respected world manufacturers, reducing the hardware size and exponentially boosting their sound quality. Japanese brands soon took over the European market, and back then, they were the first ever consumer electronic items from that country gaining a foothold on European households. But what really brought sales to the next level was the instrumental use of the boombox in the rise of a whole new movement brewing in the heart of New York's most marginalized neighborhoods, called hip-hop. Hip-hop started as a new way of DJing at neighborhoods block parties in the Bronx. The Jamaican DJ Kool Herc is referred to be the first ever to use the record to focus on the short, heavily percussive musical segments in it, which was called the break. He did this by using two turntables, like the disco DJs in Manhattan, and cueing the same or different breaks on both turntables, extending the range on the dance floor as long as he wanted. The crowd loved it, and even before the movement was named hip-hop, a new form of dancing was already there: breakdancing. This new style of organizing parties, playing records and dancing, heavily influenced by Kool Herc's background rooted in Jamaican sound systems culture, quickly took the whole county by storm. The south of the Bronx, at that time, was being ravaged by gangs who fought each other for territorial control. Most of the upper and middle class had relocated from the southwestern parts of the borough. The exodus had already started in 1930 and continued till mid-70s. The state's new housing development project, called Cooperative City, was a significant factor into draining the middle class from the South and West Bronx, leaving mostly poor African American and Hispanic communities stranded. The also called Cop City, located in the east and northwestern sections of the borough, started moving in residents in 1968 and was fully built in 1973. At that time, when hip-hop started to rise, its own birthplace was on fire, literally. The South Bronx was plagued by a wave of arson, caused mostly by landlords who decided to burn their now devalued property buildings for an insurance cash grab. There were high rates of poverty and unemployment, commerce and shops were fleeing. So, how did this movement gain traction on these circumstances? Well, the use of cassettes played a big role. DJs were recording their sessions at parties at the Bronx directly from the mixing board, or somebody at the party with a boombox recorded it live. Then they would make copies of those tapes and spread them around. Another huge boost came when manufacturers in Japan started to incorporate input and output jacks into the box, which allowed for the coupling of devices like microphones or turntables. The development of audio jacks brought the boombox to the top of its popularity. New models were packing more and more features and better and boomier sound. On the other side of the world, where boomboxes were being produced, the socio-economical landscape was different, to say the least. By 1968, Japan had become the second largest economy in the world and continued to grow at fast pace till 1991. During this period, Japan became the world's largest manufacturer of automobiles and the leading producer of electronics. The boombox was widely used in homes as a stereo system, and they were targeting pretty much every social class with their advertising and designs. But it was in a very popular Tokyo location, where huge gatherings and very diverse groups started to take advantage of the portability of the box and the simplicity of cassette recording. Yoyogi Park. During the late 70s, on Sundays at Yoyogi, rock music fans, jugglers, martial arts clubs, cosplayers and many other subcultures from Tokyo would bring their own portable stereos and dance to different styles of music. The 1990s were a turning point for the boombox in popular culture. The Walkman and other advanced electronics eliminated the need to carry around such a large and heavy audio equipment, and boomboxes quickly disappeared from the streets. I was a kid during those times, but I still remember our first boombox. It was a Sharp GF8585H. It was built like a tank. We could record from the radio in such a simple and straightforward way, so we could record anything we liked on the radio. I had friends with cheap mics, and we would record our own radio shows. It was a great machine and still is. I found the same model on my local eBay here in Berlin. It's in great condition and every function works flawlessly. This is a 40-year-old device we're talking about, while the disposables MP3 players and iPods are already dead and gone. A very impressive statement from those times about how electronics were built to last. Well, that was that. I hope you enjoyed the video. Boomboxes may not be so popular anymore, but they surely bring a lot of nostalgia to so many. Newer models come with SD cards, USB ports, CD and cassette players, so I might check them out in the future. What's certain is that those good old classic exemplars can surely stand the test of time. Thanks for watching. Until next time.